What a great golf season it has been so far. We just wrapped up the Players Championship. We got Kyle. We're gonna recap it. We're gonna talk Cam Young, all things players. It's pretty much they call it the fifth major, Kyle. It's a huge tournament, stacked field, and Cameron Young comes out on top.
Yeah, it's TPC Sawgrass. It's the hole number 17. Everyone knows hole number 17. Island Green.
Iconic.
Very iconic. People are always wanting to play a hole 17 at Sawgrass, and it only had to come down to like the last couple holes with Cam Young and Matthew Fitzpatrick. It was a Sunday, and with Selection Sunday, March Madness, and everything, golf kind of had its a little bright spot in there. So good for the players on Sunday.
I agree. That finish was electric, and we'll talk about it because Matt Fitzpatrick was kind of getting riled by the fans. I don't know if you
Yeah.
saw that, and he actually talked about it in his press conference, and he pretty much said it was quote unquote child's play compared to Bethpage Black, what he experienced at the Ryder Cup. I don't think, personally, I think golf is kind of a classy sport. Granted, there's exotic things like Malbon and like fashion wise, but I don't think there's a place for that in the game. To be honest, granted, I like the competitiveness and rooting for the Americans, but it seemed a bit much. Did you see that or hear about it?
I didn't hear about that. It's actually the first I've heard about it, but I mean, obviously at Bethpage, and I definitely feel like if we're talking the golf world, obviously it can get out of hand. At Ryder Cup, people are passionate for their country and things of that nature. Matthew Fitzpatrick though is generally a pretty soft player on the PGA Tour. I mean,
What do you mean by that?
he can't really handle a lot of criticism. I don't want to be the guy, but I don't want to
Yeah,
have beef with anyone, but I
I
mean,
will say he did say like it didn't really bother him, and he said he wished the fans in the UK would be more like that. But he said that the people in the UK are more classy and they have more respect for the game than the people in the US. But I
that's
think
probably fair.
I think these tournaments like are getting almost inspired by the waste management to encourage more like booze sales and have it be more of a party, which I'm all for. I think golf should be more like a mix between Live and
Yeah.
PGA Tour. I think Live is a little bit too much. PGA Tour like meet somewhere in the middle. But nonetheless, it was a great finish. Matt Fitzpatrick is a great player, and I think that he gives credits to the stack system, which is kind of like a speed training system. He picked up like 20 yards off the tee. It was insane. He got his braces off, and then
I
he
forgot about
he won
those.
the U.S. Open with his braces. But
Uh,
it was a great tournament. Highlights of it: Colin Morikawa withdraws back injury.
yeah, before the tournament even started.
Rory McIlroy, um, withdrew last week at Bay Hill with a back injury, and it's an unfortunate occurrence that seems to be going around.
Yeah, I mean, you can see it early. It's a lot of guys that dominated the game last year are kind of having some injuries early, are struggling early. Like Rory, you said, dropped out at Bay Hill last week, didn't play. He played this week, but he was just around like kind of even par, just around there, maybe a
Yeah,
little below. And same thing with Scotty this week. He hasn't been his best. He's just kind of struggling right around 3 under, I think he was
yeah,
this week.
yeah.
But I mean, it was these guys that we're used to seeing be at the top of every tournament. It's kind of getting some turnover here. We saw some big names at the end. I mean, Fleetwood was up there, I think.
Mm,
Schauffele finished high.
yeah,
Cam Young. I mean, Matt Fitzpatrick. These guys are all guys that have won on the high level on the PGA Tour, and we're seeing them in total here finish at the top of tournaments and kind of evening out the playing field. I feel like this year compared to years past.
I agree. I agree. And honestly, I might actually talk a little bit golf betting if you want to.
Yeah, yeah. Let's get in there.
I think there's one player that I am going to hammer. We haven't even mentioned yet that I'm going to hammer. Or I'm not. I don't really bet per se on individual players, but definitely a part of my DraftKings lineup for the Masters. Right around the corner is Ludwig Oberg. I don't
Really?
think a player of that caliber, he's gonna like all he thinks about is literally golf. Granted, that's probably what all these guys think about only, but I don't think he's gonna let himself to make the same mistake again. And he pretty much had this tournament if he didn't put 2 balls in the water, and
Yeah, 11 and 12,
I
right?
think he's gonna make sure that that doesn't happen again. So I think there's gonna be good value in Ludwig. Granted, he has history of playing well at the Masters, but not really breaking through. And with him picking up a big year in the Ryder Cup last year, and also a PGA Tour win or two, I see him at least getting a top 5 in the Masters, if not a potential win. Person I'm staying away from is Scotty Scheffler. I don't know. I
Yeah,
think
I mean, I was just looking up their odds, and Scottie Scheffler's at plus 300. And the way he's playing right now, I mean, it just isn't great value there. Ludwig is third at 11 to 1, so
ooh,
plus 1100. So definitely some value there. But having the third best odds to win the tournament and seeing how he kind of collapsed today, I know the conditions were a little rough. It was super windy down there, but I mean, there was just a couple of shots where it's like, dude, what are you doing? I mean, he had a 4-stroke lead with 12 holes to play.
that's true.
I mean,
So
you
does
got
it go? It goes Scheffler, McIlroy, then Oberg,
Scheffler, McIlroy, Oberg. Yeah.
then what else?
Um,
Bhatia, Schauffele.
no. I mean, let's see. John Rahm 1300, Schauffele 1600, so 16 to 1. And then you follow that up with Bryson 16 to 1, Fleetwood 20 to 1.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah, Fleetwood at 20 to 1's a nice, especially got the monkey off his back, winning the Tour Championship last year.
Yes.
Champion this week, Cam Young 25 to 1, Morikawa 27 to 1. Then you got Rose, Reed, Hovland all at 28 to 1 on DraftKings.
And you mentioned some new names, kind of getting to the leaderboard this year. Chris Gotterup has won twice.
Yeah,
this
early.
Scotty Scheffler won once at the Amex. Justin Rose, we're used to seeing him win, but he hasn't recently.
He did win. He won this year.
Yeah. I'm listing off winners
Okay,
from this
okay.
season. Yeah.
Oh,
But before that, it's good to see him back up there. Jacob Bridgman, I'm pretty sure that was his first win, and Batia, who hasn't won often. I think he won the Zurich Classic, but and then Cam Young caps it off. But well deserved for Cam.
Yeah,
Young.
it feels like a lot this year at least. A lot of the guys have made strides to where we have different people like all kind of peaking at the right moment for this kind of the Masters first major, which I feel like in years past has kind of been like pretty spotty people who win these first kind of tournaments. But we've had a lot of guys that you've heard of in names years past, except probably Bridgman. But other than that, you've heard about all these other guys, especially Goddard at the end of last year, and they're kind of peaking towards this like Master season, which we could see just an incredible tournament in the second week of April.
Yeah, let me tell you, I've actually taken a liking to watching golf again, and mainly on Sundays, in the background, and then I kind of tune in as it goes. But this golf season has been pretty electric so far, honestly.
It's a can't miss Sunday almost every week.
Yeah,
and it's been rivaled by.
Yeah.
I mean, the Waste Management was paired with the Super Bowl, like right in that, and that was a crazy finish. Even last week we had a playoff finish. This week, I mean, it went down to 18, and Cam Young wins it on 18. It's just like, I mean, it's been an unbelievable year so far, and we're in March.
Yeah, and I feel like last year you were able to pretty much tell the winner as they were walking down the 18th fairway.
Yeah, it was always four
JJ
strokes.
Spawn was an electric finish at the U.S. Open, but nonetheless, I think Oberg's time is going to come. Any other takes from this tournament?
Yeah, I mean, other than Oberg absolutely collapsing and finishing, at what is he, 10 under for the tournament, I think.
Yeah, Thorbjornsen also.
Oh my, his 8 on 4.
Ooh,
Did you see the putt he missed? It was like a 3-footer.
I watched the whole.
And he blew it past. Like, I mean, that ball like came off like a rocket.
Yeah.
That ball was lightning fast.
Yeah.
But I think the announcers all week, like Jim Nantz, was pointing to the fact of like these people have never seen this course like at such high winds and how fast and dry it was.
Yeah.
So they were like shocked because you could see like the dead spots on the green.
Correct.
It was super dry.
Yeah. Rounding out the top 5 was Bob McIntyre. I love him. For the Masters. He's got amazing hands.
Lefty, it's a beautiful swing.
Yeah, he's swinging from the wrong side of the ball. Sudarshan Yelamaraju.
Yeah, I saw it. I'm glad you attempted it.
I think he's from Canada, and he played really good on the weekend. And then we got Bridgman trending.
I think he finished at 68, 400.
Love me some Straka. Straka,
Yeah, you seem like you'd be a super big Straka
because he
guy.
can roll the rock.
Yeah, I mean,
He's a fantastic putter.
I think the funniest thing about Straka is that he basically like grew up in Georgia and like has like a southern accent and like he's like super American, but then like it comes to like the Ryder Cup and he's like playing for Europe because
Oh
I think
wow.
what is he?
I don't even know what that flag is. I'm not gonna lie.
Uh he's that's is that Denmark?
That looks like Denmark. I don't know.
Does it say anything?
I'm not a
I
geology
gotta I
major, I
gotta get
suppose.
this right.
Um,
Oh, Austrian. Wow, that's not very good memory.
Austrian.
I think it's the same colors, but that's not. I
Wow.
mean, I should know that. But yeah, he's Austrian, but he like grew up in Georgia and has like a southern accent, and everyone was like at the
I
Ryder
did not
Cup.
know he has a southern accent.
Yeah, he went to Georgia too, so it's like super funny because they're like everyone is like that's the most American person we know, and he's European.
Wow. That's funny. That's
Yeah.
funny. But no, nonetheless, that's the players. We're gonna take a look at Cam Young's swing. I don't know if I realized, and we're gonna break it down, analyze it. And if you do enjoy this video, that we're gonna have a link in the description to claim a free swing analysis, a lot more in depth than Cam Young. I'm gonna kind of pick out a couple of things that I like that you can implement into your own game. So let's take a look. All right, so we have Cam Young pulled up now. I'm going to point out a couple of the basic things that I see in his swing, as well as a couple things for you to copy and paste. But also, down the stretch, I love Cam Young, and he actually showed a little bit of emotion at the Ryder Cup. But my buddy texted me and he's like, "Dude, is Cam Young on ashwagandha or something?" Because the man has a straight face, and I kind of like it when the golfers get into it and let out a little bit of emotion, a little fist bump or something. But obviously, what he did worked for him, and he said in the press conference that if you ask my wife, I am a very happy guy because someone literally asked him about it. That why don't you smile? Pretty much, and you know, there's something I noticed, but kind of funny. As we look at Cam Young's setup, this is actually retrieved from the PGA Tour, so shout out to them. But as we look at Cam Young's swing, we see a lot of basic alignment perfections to where we see that from this perfect down the line angle, we only see his right leg. We know his feet are perfectly aligned to where he has the club based on that notion. The arms are hanging straight down over the toe line. What else? Glove fingers available. I post it on every video. Every PGA Tour winner so far has had their glove fingers visible. So get yourself on a down the line view, ideally at hand height, kind of in front of your toes, maybe 8 feet back. This is the perfect angle right here, and we can kind of examine Cam Young's swing. A great thing that I love Cam Young's swing about. He's also the final boss of anti-early extension. He does not early extend at all. We'll see in his downswing, he kind of hits the squat button, where a lot of people are very quick to stand up, and he opens his hips appropriately. Granted, he is working a draw here, and we're actually going to take a look at Cam Young has hit some amazing escape shots. But what a great thing to have in his swing, his pause. It's something that he can go back to and just stay rooted in. And it kind of, he discussed it, it allows him to sequence his downswing correctly because he would have an issue with prematurely turning, and coming to that stop allows him to come down and sink. Let's take a look. We take a look at his takeaway, club, covering the hands. Something I want to point out here as far as structure in the takeaway is probably one of the most important parts in the golf swing because it sets you up for either to play catch up the rest of your swing, or it sets you up for a swing that requires little to no manipulation to the top and to impact. And what we see here is both of Cam Young's arms are still fully extended. A lot of amateurs that I see, they kind of start folding in that right arm at this point and they start to lose their structure. Cam Young, imagine that he has that Tour striker ball right in his arms, staying connected, arms rigid. Okay, he's getting hinge, and he's sinking deeper, deeper, deeper into that hip. We get the club running across the lead arm, club face square. And I think Cam Young hits his draws in a very interesting way because I don't think he manipulates his setup other than aligning everything to the right. Most people, if they were hitting a draw, they would align their feet to the right, their shoulders to the right, their hips to the right, and the club kind of somewhere in between their feet line target as well as the hole. But Cam Young just kind of aligns everything to the right, and we're going to take a look at that as well. But he gets to this nice position here at the top. Belt loop angled down, shoulders angled down, nothing flat about that. This is how he absolutely pummels the ball. 370-yard drive on the 18th hole, by the way. And you can kind of see he just comes to the top right here, hits the pause button, and then everything starts working down in sync. A great drill for you to try. Some people implement it in their swing. Shout out Ben Kruper. And then we kind of just see, look at how much deeper he sinks into that. Wow. Final boss of early extension. This is great. If you're at home, get up against a chair, a rolling chair, push it back in the downswing. Very powerful drill to create power and space for your hands to drop. Cannot tell you the amount of importance you should place on that. Shallows out. And I honestly think he just kind of works this draw with his hands. He kind of realizes that he's aiming to the right and realizes that he has to draw it back. And he does it to absolute perfection. Absolute perfection. Balanced finish, posted up on the left leg. And really, I mean, that's how he works the draw as well. Just kind of realizing, okay, I'm aimed right. I need to do something with my hands. A lot of the pros are fantastic, handsy players. They have good feel, and they can kind of do that. To where an amateur might change up their grip a little bit, or have their club aligned to the target, something along those lines. But nonetheless, a stellar win for Cam Young, and I think it's safe to say there's more to come. But hope you enjoyed the video, and only if you did enjoy the video, I would appreciate any like and subscribe. Shout out to V1 for this video. This is the analytical tool that I use, and it's great. So Masters right on the corner. Comment your pick, and see you next time.